shoeless feet, lonely eyes looking back at me. Will we leave behind the innocent to grieve? On their own, on the run, when their lives have only begun.
Love Feeds Our World was a dream that God placed on my heart several years ago. At first it was just something that seemed so impossible. How could God do whatever He was going to do through us? We lived in America.
Could be our daughters and our sons. And just like a drum, I can hear their hearts beating. I know my God won't let them be defeated. Every child has a dream to belong and be loved. Boys become kings, girls will be.
I can tell you, when I go to the house, my heart is very great because they really need. They're very poor, this village, because we have people come from other place to come to stay. They don't have food.
Wrapped in your majesty, when we love the least of these, then they will be brave and free. Shout your name in victory. When we love the least of these.
As a parent, it's difficult to imagine not being able to feed my children. But this is something that the parents in Macomb have to deal with on a daily basis. They know that their government won't and can't do anything about the fact that their children continually cry from hunger. So who helps them? In Macomb, it's the church. The church loves the children, the elderly, the disadvantaged when no one else does. When they come to us, they receive hot meals with meats, rice, and vegetables. They receive vitamin supplements and medical care. They learn that there is someone who loves them, and that someone is Jesus, and that someone is us.
The least of these. Break our hearts once again. Help us to remember when.
Hi everyone, my name is Syriac Libone. My nickname is Isaiah. I am so happy today to share with you something about Haiti. Well, the important thing in Haiti right now is there's a lot of kids who doesn't go to school. I mean, after the earthquake, a lot of kids doesn't go to school. Some of them, their mom passed away by the earthquake, or they that passed away. They have the orphans. They have no one to help them.
School in Macomb is very important for this village because when I talk to the kids' parents, they said if we don't have a school here, they don't know where they put the children because they don't have money. The feeding program and the school is very important to them. They always say that.
Children hoping for a friend. Won't you look around? These are the lives that the world has forgotten. Waiting for doors of our hearts and our homes to open. Boys become kings, girls will be queens. Wrapped in your majesty. When we love. The least of these.
Yeah! going to Haiti has impacted my life greatly. I mean, as many of you know, Lori and we've adopted Judson from Haiti, and every time I go to Haiti and I see a child Judson's age, it breaks my heart, because that easily could have been my son, who could have been a restavek child, or being beaten because he's not working hard enough, or he could have had orange hair or no education. So that has greatly impacted me and makes me want to keep going back and back to Haiti and doing as much as I can for these children so they have a better chance of getting an education, being fed, than what they did before we even got to Macomb.
One of the huge problems encountered in Macomb, which is actually a problem all over Haiti, is child slavery. I'll never forget the first time I learned that I could go to the market in Port-au-Prince and purchase a child, not a chicken or a goat, but a child, and then use that child as a slave in my home. In our feeding program and school, we have many child slaves, known in Haiti as restaveks, and they serve the family they live with, working in the gardens and fields, taking care of animals, working in the home, and so on. The lives of restaveks differ greatly. Some children are allowed to go to school, while others are not. Some children are allowed to go out and play with their friends, while others are not. Many children are physically, sexually, verbally, and emotionally abused. The life of a restavek is lonely, and they live in continual fear. Eves Higgins, an 8-year-old child in our school and feeding program, is a child slave. His mother has never wanted him, and he knows it. However, she has no problem using him. She sells him or gives him away for a time, then takes him back for a week or two, and then sells him to someone else for a time. He bounces around from home to home. He has scars on his little body from being beaten, and has no security or no sense of belonging to anyone, or anywhere for that matter. He's lonely and fearful and in need of a family to love him. Venice is another one of our restaveks. When she was a baby, her father threw her out with the trash. Since then, she lives with her grandmother. However, her grandmother abuses her, both physically and verbally, and uses her for hard labor. In spite of her circumstances, Venice is incredibly smart and has a lot of potential. She just needs a family to love her and treat her with kindness. Jonderson is a restavek from the island of Laganov. His family sold him hoping he would have a better future in Haiti. He works in the fields and taking care of the pigs and the violent dogs that protect those pigs. He's a sweet young boy who volunteers his free time at the church and is always looking to help and please. These children are just a few examples of the many child slaves living in Macomb. So how can we help them? How can we do what is in their best interest and make their lives easier rather than more difficult? First, we put them in the feeding program, asking their owners if they may come and eat. Second, we offer the families free schooling for these children. The only way for them to have a chance to better their circumstances is through education. Last and most important, we love all over them. And that means teaching them about Jesus and showing them the unconditional love of Jesus. The worst and most heart-wrenching part about this is that at the end of the day, they still return to those horrible environments where they exist as slaves, enduring both abuse and loneliness. That's why Love Feeds Our World has started planning for a children's home, a home for slave children, a home where they will feel safe and have their needs met, a home where they can just be children.
We need a home for restavek children, which is slave children, because no child should be forced into hard labor. A child in Haiti should be able to grow up playing with their friends, going to school, doing child things instead of being forced to work and having to be physically and emotionally abused by their owners. I mean, we've seen children in our feeding program who are slave children. We've seen scars on them from being beaten for not working hard enough. And that's not right. Children should be able to grow up to be children, not to be forced into hard labor.
En vérité,